War or peace military vehicles are a necessity at times to fight wars and at other times to avoid wars. Huge amounts spent by each country to protect itself from enemy countries. As compared to the past when the most expensive vehicles were in millions, now the game is in billions. In this video, you will get to know some of the vehicles of USA. You will also get the answer of whether France can have some expensive vehicles. An expensive vehicle which died. Which is the most advanced submarine ever? What is the price of Queen Elizabeth's HMS? And who is the king of all? So, stay tuned! Arleigh-Burke-Class Destroyer. The DDG-51 destroyer, or more commonly referred to as the Arleigh-Burke-Class Destroyer, is one of the United States Navy's main battleships. Its cost is $1.2 billion. These ships are large at around 500 feet long and can perform a range of tasks. Their main purpose is to engage enemy ships, airplanes, submarines, or land targets near water. While these ships have a range of large guns, their primary means of engagement relies on missiles. These destroyers are outfitted with missiles to take out land targets, aircraft, or to attack other ships. Additionally, the DDG-51 destroyers also have depth charges and torpedoes to engage enemy submarines. The ships are also outfitted with advanced radar, sonar, and other sensors that help them track enemies, patrol the waters, and give information to other ships or planes within the area. It takes a crew around 300 strong to operate one of these ships, and they have a maximum range of around 5,000 miles. Do you know about the most advanced submarine ever? The Virginia-class submarines are a series of nuclear submarines used by the United States Navy. These submarines are some of the most advanced and impressive vehicles that have ever been produced. The ability to travel underwater pays dividends when it comes to warfare, as they are arguably some of the stealthiest vehicles around. The subs are produced by a few different shipbuilding companies in America, but all retain the same characteristics. This 377-foot vehicle is operated by a crew of around 130 people. They are armed with a series of torpedoes and missiles used to attack ships, other submarines, aircraft, and land targets. Additionally, many of these submarines carry long-range nuclear missiles. The most impressive fact about these vehicles would be their nuclear engines. Since they're powered by a nuclear reactor, they have an unlimited range. Is France in the game of most expensive military vehicles? We know that France is no way non-familiar with wars and destruction. It has many powerful military equipment and vehicles. One of them is Charles de Gaulle aircraft carrier, whose initial cost is £3 billion. Charles de Gaulle is the flagship of the French Navy. The ship, commissioned in 2001, is the 10th French aircraft carrier, first French nuclear-powered surface vessel, as well as the only nuclear-powered carrier completed outside of the United States Navy. She is named after French statesman and General Charles de Gaulle. The ship carries a complement of Dassault Rafale M and E-2C Hawkeye aircraft, AS-365F Dauphin Pedro, EC-725 Caracal, and AS-532 Cougar helicopters for combat search and rescue, as well as modern electronics and Aster missiles. She is a Katabar-type carrier that uses two 75M C-13-3 steam catapults of a shorter version of the catapult system installed on the U.S. Nimitz-class aircraft carriers, one catapult at the bow and one across the front of the landing area. Which expensive vehicle sunk in the sea? USS America, CVA/CV-66, was one of three Kitty Hawk-class supercarriers built for the United States Navy in the 1960s. Commissioned in 1965, she spent most of her career in the Atlantic and Mediterranean, but did make 3 Pacific deployments serving in the Vietnam War. She also served in the Persian Gulf War's operations Desert Shield and Desert Storm. America was the first large aircraft carrier since Operation Crossroads in 1946 to be expended in weapons tests. In 2005, she was scuttled southeast of Cape Hatteras after 4 weeks of tests, despite a large protest of former crew members who wanted to see her instituted as a memorial museum. She was the largest warship ever to be sunk. Its cost was $3.4 billion. DDG-1000 Zumwalt-Class Destroyer of USA. The Zumwalt-Class Destroyer is a class of 3 United States Navy-guided missile destroyers designed as multi-mission stealth ships with a focus on land attack. It is a multi-role class that was designed for secondary roles of surface warfare and anti-aircraft warfare, and originally designed with a primary role of naval gunfire support. The class design emerged from the DD-21 Land Attack Destroyer program as DDX, and was intended to take the role of battleships in meeting a congressional mandate for naval fire support. The ship is designed around its 2 advanced gun systems, AGS, their turrets and 920-round magazines, and unique long-range land attack projectile, LRLAP, ammunition. LRLAP procurement was cancelled, rendering the guns unusable, so the Navy repurposed the ships for surface warfare. Starting in 2023, the Navy will remove the AGS from the ships and replace them with hypersonic missiles. Each unit costs $4.4 billion. Can you guess the cost of Her Majesty's ship? HMS Queen Elizabeth is the lead ship of the Queen Elizabeth class of aircraft carriers and the fleet flagship of the Royal Navy. Capable of carrying 60 aircraft, including fixed-wing, rotary-wing, and autonomous vehicles, she is named in honor of the first HMS Queen Elizabeth, a World War I-era super dreadnought, which in turn was named after Queen Elizabeth I. The carrier Queen Elizabeth carries her namesake ship's honors, as well as her Tudor rose-adorned crest and motto. The HMS Queen Elizabeth is the largest warship in the United Kingdom's arsenal. It's 918 feet in length and 229 feet width, capable of holding 1,600 people as personnel. This aircraft carrier can go up to 10,000 nautical miles before it needs to refuel. It cost $6 billion to create this ship. Who is the king of all? Finally, the most expensive military vehicle ever is the CVN-78 class aircraft carrier, or the General R. Ford class carrier as they are often referred to as. They are arguably the most advanced aircraft carriers in the world and serve as the Navy's main operation bases out at sea. The ships are powered by 2 nuclear reactors, giving them an unlimited range provided supplies don't run out. These supercarriers are 1,106 feet long and 250 feet tall. They are armed with a few guns and a variety of missiles, but obviously their main feature is their flight decks. There is a wide range of aircraft that can take off from these boats, ranging from helicopters to fighter jets. They typically can accommodate around 75 aircraft total. There are currently only 2 in existence, but the government has planned to make 8 more. These aircraft carriers embody the phrase, "bringing the fight to you," and are truly forces to be reckoned with. At $13 billion apiece, they are also absurdly expensive.